We're doing the final preparations before putting the sealer primer on the cabin doors of Jimmy. These preparations are the most important step in a good paint job. Now, paint prep is not a razor's edge. One misstep and it's all is lost. But it's a sidewalk, a very long sidewalk. One that it is tempting to skip through and get on with laying down paint. It is tedious work, lots of metal repair, body filler, and sanding. When you're working on a tedious, repetitive task on your project car, the mind begins to wander. And it gets me thinking about why we are attempting to make it perfect. Then again, what is perfect? Growing up, I was repeatedly informed that my grandfather liked to say, perfection is good enough. Which is interesting, as he was a gentle, friendly, and generous person. But perfection was not always associated with him. Then again, it was perfect. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder. Some seek spiritual perfection, a perfect lifestyle, a perfect career, or perfecting a new skill. However, often in life, doing more than the minimum is not worth the effort. You do not benefit any more by doing more than the least amount required. Perfect is the enemy of good enough. This is a cautionary saying that when only accepting perfect in everything, you may never finish what you set out to do. Or another way of looking at it, when trying to gain new skills, you will make mistakes and can only learn by messing up. If you're afraid of erring, then you will never start down a new path and you will stop growing. On my C10 project, getting the fuel injection to work on a vehicle so heavily modified was something that I had not attempted to do before. I knew it was done by everyone doing an LS swap, but it was my first attempt. I was apprehensive, so I kept working on the parts of the truck that I was comfortable working on, doing it until the last thing left was hacking the program. It went smoothly, no major issues, but it was a psychological hurdle that I had to overcome. My desire to do it perfectly was keeping me from doing it. Fortunately, the time I spent pondering it was well served because it meant I researched it until I was confident that I would avoid the worst outcome, a bricked PCM. In days of yore, superstitious artisans, craftsmen, and skilled laborers believed that perfection was only the domain of the god or gods. And attempting it was to tempt the wrath of their deity of choice and would leave a deliberate flaw hidden where it would not be noticed, but by a very small number of people, and assumably by the deity that they fear the most. But how unfulfilling is it to not put in any more effort than the minimum? And if you do it everywhere in your life, the best you'll achieve is mediocrity. No one will ever come to you with opportunities, seeking you out for your skills or advice. I would hear the older generations talking about you should take pride in your work. When you're done with the task, are you proud of it? This was, of course, always an admonishment while checking in on me while doing something like housework or yard work or something else in the way of me getting to do something more fun. But when it comes to working on my rust piles, I want the job done right, and paying someone else to do it for what I can afford, it's not going to be done right. As a serious hobbyist, I take great pride when I do make it as good as I think it should be. And I have a sense of individual accomplishment when it is done. Knowing what is right, however, has taken me many years of not quite getting there. And each time not knowing I'm short of the mark until it fails further down the road, then having to redo it until it is right. To achieve perfection is expensive in time, energy, and money, and it is near impossible. To only do things you can do perfectly is to limit your knowledge and to accomplish only very few things. Getting to 80% perfect is relatively quick and cheap in comparison, and for most it is good enough. Especially if you're a professional trying to make a living. But good enough eliminates the possibility of having nice things and never earning the self-confidence from doing a task right. At the Pit Stop Ranch, we strive to do the best we can. We learn from watching others and then try to do it ourselves, each time striving to apply what we've learned from the last attempt and do better, until we are proud of the work we have done, but knowing next time we'll do even better. And I guess that is the lesson of this video. I hope that it helps you in your next project. Research the best practices, and then go out and try it for yourself. Don't be happy with doing just the minimum, but be forgiving of yourself for your shortfalls, and know next time you'll do a better job. And make sure there always is a next time. Don't do it once and give up. Anyway, enough rambling. Time to get back to sanding. And if you like what we're doing here at the Pit Stop Ranch, please go ahead and support us by hitting the like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And till next time, have a sandtastic day.